Alright, what's going on, guys? There was a Blitz update, as you might have noticed. Um, and at first, everyone was like freaking out about it, like, oh my god, Blitz got an update, let's fucking go, it's been 3 years, like the typical reaction that's understandable, like, Blitz hasn't gotten content, and new content makes us lose our shit, you know what I mean? But now that the smoke is cleared, we can kind of look at the update more objectively and kind of give our opinions on it. So, I would like to discuss it, and so yeah, let's get into that. I do think the best part of the update was, well, there's two. The Cthulhu rework and private games. Cthulhu Island is now playable, and it's in solo. It's a really good touch. I like that. It looks like they actually spent time on Cthulhu. They actually put work into it. They thought about it. Like, there's like mountains that are lowered. There's entire sections of water that have become like villages. There's lily pads to make the water not as annoying if you aren't playing Diver. It's kind of a Diver nerf, to be fair, but it's whatever. Diver is too good in my map anyway. I think they changed the boat. I think they made the sails look cooler. I'm not sure though, but I think they did. I think they like made some mountains smaller, and they made the pathways from middle way better. They gave like colored wool to each of the exits, so if you don't have like a direction HUD mod, you can just say I ran orange, and then your teammate knows, oh, I'm orange. Like, it's good for communication, and I like that. It's a good touch. And with private games, you did it, boys. Let's get it. You got private games into Blitz. It wasn't all that I wanted. For example, you can't choose the map you're on. You can't set custom team sizes. I mean, like, you can't, like, make every kit Prestige 2 or Prestige 1. That kind of stuff. But there were lots of things I didn't ask for, like Zero Gravity, which actually is pretty fun. It's good for map exploring and shit. Yeah, there were some general small map changes as well, I noticed. Like, I noticed on peaks, on top of one of the mountains, there's a crafting table with a flag on it. I do not believe that was there before. Some maps got some minor changes, I think, that aren't super obvious. This one could be wrong, but I think on Docks V2, when you get down to the docks, there's like a waterfall on the right of the bridge that you go to get to like the dock area. I feel like that wasn't as exposed before, but I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that. Is there any other map changes I noticed? Well, the other obvious ones. Despair V1, they just made mid better, for the most part, from what I saw. It's fine. Despair V2, it's an improvement, but it was lazy, honestly. Like, yes, now it's kind of hard to get punched into the lava when you cross mid instead of very easy. I mean, it's only like, it's still very possible to get a punch kill on someone off spawn. It's just like not as ridiculously easy as it was. Like, the middle is way better. And also, it makes Donkey less oppressive on that map just because the staircases mean you don't have to like jump up every single block to like climb the mountain to get in the middle. But the staircase looks out of place. Looks too clean, I think. Like, it's a rugged map, It's a hilly, rugged, like, almost medieval map. And then, like, the staircase is just, like, very simple and just plop down there without much context. It feels weird. So I think they were lazy on the Despair maps, but the Cthulhu one was good job. Hats off to that. That was good. And private games are about what I could expect. They could have been better, they could have been worse. So, that's pretty cool. The new stars, I'm actually a fan of. Switcheroo, kind of like, it does what Swag Move did, but in a balanced way. You know what I mean? Like, it teleports someone to you, but only one person. And it also swaps your spot with them, so it has counterplay. Like, if someone finds the star, you can, like, crouch over the edge of a map and just use Switcheroo. And then they use Switcheroo, and then they just walk off. Like, so it's risky to use it. So I think it's a healthy star. It has good counterplay. Like Gladiator, now at first it comes off as being, honestly, I think it's a pretty toxic star. I think people are going to be using Gladiator to BM a lot. Like, I can already feel the fucking, like, B-hop snipers in my game just, like, gladiatoring me, just so they control me. But that's definitely gonna happen. And it's also gonna happen with, like, I don't know, it's gonna be, like, memes, like, People are gonna like do it on Phantomism or something and then just troll. I don't know. I think people are going to mostly use it to be toxic, but it has some actual uses, like especially I think in team mode. If you're a solo against a 2-team, it's actually not a bad idea to gladiator one of the people on the team and to take your chances, because you're a lot more likely to win a 1v1 than a 2v1. And it's a fair fight as well, so I think that is actually a pretty solid team star. And Zookeeper is just cool. I really like Zookeeper. I think it implements a lot of cool things into the game. Like, especially the fact that you can literally have a fucking Ender Dragon or like a Wither or an Iron Golem in your game. That is so cool. I'm a huge fan of that. So yeah, like that stuff is pretty good. Kit balancing was alright. There were a few misses, I think. Warlock got overbuffed pretty hard. Paladin should not have gotten no changes because like every single kit that's better than Paladin also got nerfed. Like Ranger, Necro, Reaper, Tox, Baker, you know, the list goes on. Every kit that was better than Paladin got nerfed, which kind of leaves Paladin in like a relatively strong place. I think the S tiers right now are going to be Paladin and Warlock. I think those will be your S tier kits for the time being. I think the Spelly and Knight changes were pretty decent. I think Florist is now the worst kit in the game. I think the fact that Spelly and Knight now have actual, like they're gear kits, but their gear is, like, exceptional and not just, like, kind of okay, you know? They made the gear a lot better. And that means that it kind of surpasses Florist. I think the two worst kits are probably Florist and Troll now. You can't underrate a stack of egg or snowballs, but, you know. I just think Troll's really inconsistent. So, a bit of a shake-up in the kit meta. I think Ranger is still a very good kit. I think Baker is just a fine kit now. I think Necro is still a decent kit. It's not broken. I think Tox is still pretty fucking good. I think Reaper is still pretty fucking good. So I think Shadow Knight is kind of a winner too, since Shadow Knight was like an A tier. But then, same with Paladin, a lot of the kits ahead of it got buffed, or got nerfed, I mean. So Shadow Knight is also in a pretty good spot, I would say. And the game is probably more balanced now. I would argue the game is more balanced now, from what I've seen. The new kits, Shark doesn't work. And it's probably going to be dog shit even when it does work, honestly. Milkman. Now, here's my take. I think people are mega sleeping on that kit. People are kind of like... People kind of have like the mindset that because milk potions are in chests and because Milkman has bad gear that it's not going to be meta or good. But I think that Milkman... Okay, my dogs are barking based. Give them a second. Okay. I think it's going to be... I don't want to use the best, but one of the best late game kits in the game. This kit will be dog shit until you're in deathmatch. And then when you're in deathmatch, that kit is outstandingly good. Because... imagine your enemy eats a gapple and drinks a speed, and then slows you. That is an unwinnable fight for the most part. Unless... But imagine this. You fucking throw your milk pot at them as they're gappling and speeding, lose absorption, regen, and speed too, and then they slow you, and then you take that away from yourself, and then what are they gonna do? The fight's already started, you know? Like... That's really good. That's really strong utility. It's really, really good. It'll get you out of, like, lost fights a lot, I think. I think the only reason it wouldn't be, like an A or S tier kit is just because you can find them in chests, which, like, obviously reduces the power of that kit, since anyone can have them. But they're rare enough, I feel, that it still means Milkman is going to be viable. I think it's going to be a viable kit. I don't think it's going to be trash. What else? Okay, so now, I think I've said a lot of positive things. Oh yeah, the new maps. The new maps, let's get to the negative things. The new maps, are kind of lazy. They are all from Pocket Edition, which is weird. And if you look at the maps, they all have the same general layout. The middle of the map is a low point, and then the map has like 2 layers on the outer rings, like 2 outer rings that get higher. And that's about it. There's little detailing in there. There's like a million chests. And they look nice, but gameplay-wise, I don't think they'll be that good. I think they're too small. I think the terrain is too simple. I think the fact that it's just like a bowl shape and you can like see the whole game from certain places, I don't like that. I think, like, if you're from Hamani, for example, and you're like you cannot see almost any of the map from like any point. Like, it feels like an enclosed space. You know what I mean? Like, Citadel, for the most part, same deal. Or, I mean, there's like exceptions to the rule. Like, I mean, on Valley you can see a lot of the map, or on Cattle Drive you can see a lot of the map. But like, it feels like for the most part the maps are way too open. They're just bowl shaped, and they just kind of feel like a recipe. You know what I mean? Put middle, make the areas around middle higher in 2 layers, and then put some details, and there's your map. You know? So I feel like I feel like the new maps are incredibly lazy. And especially when they had options on the table like Kanaska, or like, I don't know if Tom ever finished it, but like, you know, like Winter V2 or Citadel V2. You know, like, I think they had better options on the table for what they wanted to achieve with new maps. And I think they took a very lazy, low-budget approach to them. And you know what? This isn't a very popular game. I get that. But it's one of your original games, and it's, from what you're saying, the last update you're giving it. Show it some love. Come on, put some more effort in. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. What else was I gonna trash on? Oh yeah, no new cosmetics. That's horseshit. No new kill counters. No new victory dances. Nothing. They didn't add any new cosmetics. That's bullshit, right? Right? That's bullshit. Wait, like, who the fuck uses auras? You know? Like, who cares about victory dances? Like, there's 7 finishers. There's, like, let me just... Duels. Cosmetics. Auras. More auras, I'm pretty sure, but that's not even what I was looking for. Where's the finishers? There's 15 victory dances, that's a lot more. Yeah, that's a finisher. So there's 22. There's 22. You could have copy-pasted, for Christ's sake. That's what the doc was asking you to do. It was asking you to copy-paste finishers and auras and victory dances from other game modes. Not even original ones. Just copying the code over. Fucking Control-C, Control-V. Like, the fact that there are no new cosmetics is not being mentioned enough, and that is bullshit. As well, I mean, even like, I'm not even asking for like super creative, like a special taunt or a special kill effect for, or a special finisher for like every Prestige 2. That's what I would like. That would be cool if I was playing Hunter and I killed someone and a bunch of like, you know, cooked bunny came out of them, or like I was playing Spelly and I killed someone and a bunch of ores, I was playing Baker and a bunch of cakes and shit. You know, like, that would be cool. That's what Blitz would get if it actually had a player base that was like bigger than like 200 or something. But I wasn't asking for that. I was asking for Control-C, Control-V finishers and shit. Like, that's all I wanted. And there are 0 cosmetics. Also, just, you know, I mean, put a 125, put a 175, put a 225. You know, put a 5K. Like, what, 10K is like fucking 1K to 25K? Are you serious? It's literally from plays the game sometimes to mains the game. Or like, plays the game a lot at least. Like, 25K is nothing to laugh at. That's a good amount of time invested. There should be a midpoint. There should be a 5K and a 10K. You know what I mean? Like, that should be a thing. So there's a lack of cosmetics is lame. And probably the biggest issue with the update especially given that they have said this is the last content update for the game. There's nothing big. There's nothing that will be exciting for longer than a few weeks. Now, what the people making the doc had suggested was an idea called Blitz missions, which in like fucking practice you would go to, say like there's like an NPC right here. They just like place the NPC right there, or like somewhere in here. And you click on them, and you have like a HUD, and then the HUD says, "Yo, do you wanna get 10 kills with troll, or do you wanna fish 5 fish in one game, or do you wanna win a game with the Dragon Rider, like whatever, like, you know what I mean, like, just, Dylan is scanning me. Anyway, I thought, yeah, like, you would, like, go to that, and then you would complete those missions, and it would unlock new missions, harder missions. Maybe this time it's get 100 kills on Viking, or win a game with 10 kills, or travel 200 meters by minecart in a single game, you know? That kind of stuff. And then it gets even harder, where it says, unlock Viking Prestige 2, and then get a 15 kill game, and then, like, I don't know, like, fucking, you get the idea. I'm not going to think of, like, amazing ideas on the spot, because I'm not even going to use them, but, like, something like that. That gives people a reason to grind. It'll take a very long time to complete. It just gives you reason to play the game. You know what I mean? It's a long-term grinding incentive, and that is what Blitz needs out of an update. You know what I mean? And we didn't get that. We got some Control-C, Control-V Pocket Edition maps. Some two new kits that weren't necessary, really, and aren't even that interesting or good. Or, like, they're just broken, don't even work. You know? Also, 42 is a much worse number than 40, so that's, like, my OCD gets mad at it as well. But, and we got some alright kit balancing. The kit balancing was fine. You know, a few mistakes, but overall it was fine. I like the kit balancing. They fixed scaling on Baker as well. Oh, they over-nerfed Donkey, I think. I don't like how they over-nerfed Donkey. They shouldn't have made Donkey not have a saddle. They should have just made Horse have a saddle. You know? Or, like, not have an insta-equip saddle. They should make Horse better at being a mount than Donkey, is the issue. So yeah. That's a bit of like an aside, but it's whatever. And then they just like the only parts of this update that I'm actually like pleased with and are up to my standards would be the Cthulhu change and private games. The rest of it was just kind of a budget update for a dying game. You know? They just, you know what I mean? Like that I think that's fair. I feel like people who don't play Blitz would think I sound ungrateful. And don't get me wrong, like, the admins don't have to do shit for this game. You know what I mean? They could just ignore it. Like, and I appreciate that they have taken time to update the game. The build team as well. They did a good job. But but you can see how if I play this game, like, you see the numbers on the right hand of my screen. Like, I have played this game a lot. A ton. You know? Like, I put so much time into it, and some people have as well. And this game has made the server so much money. You know? Like, boosters from Blitz are like, maybe not now. Let me check, actually. I'm kind of curious. I mean, it's not as crazy as it used to be. Fucking Skywars, good lord. Like, Blitz used to be one of the biggest, like, you know, Maverick booster games. Like, it used to make the server so much money. Like, people who play Blitz always fucking nick. So, like, they're definitely giving a lot of NVP++ money to Hypixel, you know? Like, it's like one of their oldest games. It's one of the games that made them. Like, this was their most popular game for a while. And then their send-off message in the last update is just kind of mediocre. You know what I mean? It's disappointing. I feel like Blitz deserved better. And also, obligatory at the end, Blitz problems are not going to be solved by kit balancing in new maps. It's going to be solved by aggressive steps to fixing the hacker problem. Because it doesn't matter if I'm playing a new kit on Shogun, I'm still going to get hacked on. You know what I mean? We get to get hacked on a new map, boys. Let's go. Like, and that's kind of like the sobering view of it, is even though I log onto these cool new maps. Just earlier, I was playing Teams with Delian, Yellow Cool 2001, and we were on Shogun, new map. Honestly, it's a good looking map. But you know how the game ended? We got hacked on by Brown with glasses and his teammate. Like, that really puts a whole damper on, like, the new map and the new stuff. Because it's still the same shit community. The same cheaters. The same dumb ways of losing the game. You know? The same alt accounts sniping me. Like, yeah, after that, me and Delian were playing teams after that. I'm just gonna give him attention, I don't really care if it gets him a boner. This guy named Spock. It's an alt account, it's a duels player. I believe it's a friend of Jaspe, or a friend of, like, Guarma or Kiwis. It's like that kind of group. It's something like that. That is who I believe that is. That is who everyone says it is. They are sniping me and Delian. I'm not even streaming. You know what I mean? They're sniping our games. And they're losing, by the way, just to point that out. They didn't beat us once. And, like, they're just b-hopping. You know, like, oh wow, I'm glad I get to get b-hop sniped on a new map. You know, like... So, the update was good, but it didn't come close to fixing the problems in Blitz. And the biggest problem in Blitz is cheating and sniping and alting and nicking. It's, like, by far the worst issues in Blitz. And this was just a step towards making Blitz a good game. And the fact that the step to it was just kind of a budget, meh update, it's disheartening, I guess, given it's the last update the game's gonna get. So with that said, hate to be doomer pill, but I would class this update as good, but not enough. So yeah. I'll still play the game, obviously, because the game was even worse before the update, and I played it. I'm addicted, whatever. Like, I enjoy the game sometimes. It's fun to grind it with friends. It's fun to, you know, look at my name very slowly get closer to Misty Seas. You know what I mean? Like, I still enjoy parts of it, but this update will not save Blitz, and the fact that it's the last one is almost a death sentence if nothing happens about cheaters. So with that said, continue to enjoy Blitz, guys. Peace out.